Now let's talk about the essential building blocks in order to create a resume that is going to get you the job that you want or the project that you're looking on as a freelancer. Now we're going to start with a basic premise, and that is that we always want to focus on simplicity and minimalism. In fact, the most effective resumes are simple and straight to the point. And the way that you have to think about it is it's almost like creating a recipe. You need a few ingredients in order to create that recipe, and the quality of the ingredients is going to greatly dictate the outcome of the final resume. Meaning that the better you curate these elements, the higher the chances of you getting hired and getting the results that you want. Now let's get started with the very first one, which of course is going to be the most critical aspect. And this is especially true if you've been a designer for a while, and that is the work experience. Now, work experience has to be the most prominent element in the resume, since it's going to enable the potential client or employer to evaluate what is your past experience in the industry. And especially for those of you that are looking to apply for middleweight, senior positions, or even managerial positions, this is going to be really important. However, if you're just starting out and you are looking for an internship, or you're looking to become a junior designer, now, of course, the work experience you won't have as much. So, of course, for the client, it's not going to take as much emphasis. It's not going to be a big deal. Because of that stage, if someone is hiring an intern or a junior designer, they don't really have any expectation when it comes to the work experience. So anything that you've done is usually a plus, especially for intern positions. Now, in that case, I would strongly recommend you to focus on the portfolio instead, more than the work experience section in your resume, since that's where you can show off your potential skills. Now, the very next section, which I think it's important, but it's not more important than the work experience, is the educational experience. So if you have a BA degree, or even if you don't have any formal education, still put any course or certificate that you took, even if it's just online certificates and free courses, because this is still going to be an important element. It shows that you actually took the time and dedicated yourself to learning this craft. So this would be another element which you definitely want to have in one shape or form in your resume. Now, again, as you progress with your career, the educational experience is going to take less and less relevance in the resume, simply because the work experience is going to overtake the majority of the resume. Now, another important element to showcase is the skills and the software. So think about soft and hard skills, and even design software knowledge could be useful to add, especially if you're applying for a job where you know that maybe the company is using, all the companies using Figma as a design tool. Well, if you actually use Figma and know how to use it, adding it over there is going to make you stand out compared to another designer which maybe focuses heavily on just Sketch or Adobe XD. So this would be a simple example, but you kind of see where I'm going. It's just ideal for, in some instances, in some cases, in order to really create a better match and make it more clear for the potential client that you're aligned with their company and their needs when it comes to either a freelancer or an employee. Now, on top of that, this I would say it's an optional element, but if you won any relevant award, especially any design award, design context, you can definitely consider adding them in the resume. I wouldn't really make them take a lot of space in the resume. unless they're really important and prestigious awards. But definitely something which is good, and it shows also your personality, that you're willing to take chances and risk entering a context where you don't really have a certainty of outcome. So this is definitely something that can be really useful in some instances. So let's move on to the very next section, which should be something to take for granted, but I cannot tell you the amount of times that I receive resumes or portfolios from designers and they forgot to enter the contact information. And this is really important. You rather want to have the contact information maybe like in 2 places or 3 places than none at all. So definitely add your basic contact information. Usually it's going to entail the email and maybe your phone number. So just keep it simple and you're going to be good to go. So again, guys, the important thing here is to focus on simplicity and minimalism. A simple 1-page resume, well thought out, can really go a long way in helping you achieve your desired job or freelance design projects.